Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Precious and this is Precious Reads. This is going to be my age gap romance recommendation video. I'm going to give you 5 of my favorite age gap romances just to add to your ever-growing TBR. Let's begin. The first book that I'd love to recommend to you has to be one of my all-time favorites, and that is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, I feel like everybody has, and those that haven't should read. This follows Pike Lawson and Jordan. Jordan has been dating Pike's son, who has not treated Jordan very well. He's just like a lame duck, you know. He is not very helpful around the house. Their intimacy is not as hot as it was in the beginning, and he's just disappointed Jordan on multiple occasions. They finally do break up, and she has nowhere really to go. And even in the beginning of the book, Jordan and her boyfriend had to move in with Pike because they were having financial difficulties and had to leave their apartment. Pike does not, he offers his home to her knowing that they've broken up because there is a mutual attraction between them, but they've never stepped over the when they realize that, you know, both of them are free and clear to pursue one another, the sparks fly, they go at it, but they realize this is going to be just more than just casual. This was really hot. Pike Lawson has to be one of my favorite characters or male heroes in the romance genre. Just in romance, in the world of romance, Pike Lawson is number one. And it's an age gap. She's, I think, 18, 19, and he's in his late 30s, early 40s. He's, you know, secure in his job. He has his own company, and she's just starting out and finding her footing. So this was an excellent read. I enjoyed it, and Penelope Douglas, I think, it's one of my favorite authors, even though I didn't absolutely love the Kill Switch whatever series. This one is my absolute favorite. The next one that I'd love to recommend to you is All Grown Up by Vi Keeland. This happens to be a little bit different. I've tried to explore different types of age gap recommendations or age gap series, and this one is an older woman and younger man. So Valentina is her name. Valentina has just come out of a long marriage. She just broke up with her husband. She's going through a divorce. She's newly single. She thinks that she, as well as her best friend, think it's time for her to start exploring new avenues. She hooks herself up to a dating site. She starts talking on the dating site to a guy named, I think his name is Donovan on the site, and they really hit it off. And finally they decide to meet each other in real life. She has a panic attack. There's this sweet and amazing restaurant scene that I love. I think it's one of the greatest meet cutes or almost meet cutes that I've ever read in a novella or novel. And she finds out that Donovan is actually his last name and his first name is Ford. And Ford is somebody she knows. He used to babysit her son when her son was younger. And this, she thinks this cannot go anywhere. This has to end. But their attraction to one another is really strong. So what do? They try to explore it under the covers during vacation and keep it on the down low, but their feelings for each other sort of cannot be contained. This was different. This was good. There was a bit of conflict in the end that kind of, I found it unnecessary, and it annoyed me a little bit and brought down my enjoyment of the book just a bit. But all in all, I love Vi Keeland's All Grown Up, and I suggest that you pick it up as well. Donovan, Ford, and Valentia. Valentia was finding herself again, finding who she really is without her husband and her son, and that was really refreshing. The next book that I'd like to recommend to you is part of a series. It's called the Nashville something series. I've forgotten, but I think this is book 2. I'm sure of it. Book 1 is The Doctor, book 2 is Pool Boy and the Architect, was recently released. I haven't read that yet, but I would love to. So The Pool Boy is another obviously age gap romance between a woman who's been recently divorced. She is older than the male hero, and the breakup, the divorce was spectacularly painful, and the reveal as to why her husband was not interested in her as a woman anymore was shocking, to say the least, but entertaining. So The Pool Boy, we follow Erica and Trey. Erica, as I said, recently divorced, finding her feet. She just did her breast. She had a breast augmentation. She's feeling really confident, and she wants to jump back in the saddle again. And we have Troy, who is her pool boy. He's been pining over her for years and years and years, and waiting for his chance to show himself, like, here I am ready for you as the pool boy, but she's never around, so he just does his duty as the pool boy. And then one miraculous day, she shows up while he's cleaning the pool, and they have this encounter in the shed, and that's where things begin. This was really great, because Troy was not just like a toy boy, you know what I mean? He has been in love with her for a very, very long time. It's not said like that he's been in love, it's alluded to that he's been pining and crushing over her, but he has real feelings for her. And what I loved about this is that it wasn't straight up about their relationship. It was also about Troy finding his confidence, being able to stand up to his parents, more especially his mom, and also the extra conflict, would I say, with Erica and Trey's mom being friends, and Trey's mom being very protective over Trey, like overprotective, that it almost destroyed their relationship, as in Trey and his mom's relationship. So she had to learn as well to let go a little bit, and Trey had to learn to be more open with his parents, and tell them what he really wants out of life. So this was both entertaining, it was really smutty, but it also had a really good theme, in the foreground. So that one was really entertaining, and I enjoyed it. And one that I really recently read was Can I Come Over by Whitney G. This is a dad's best friend romance as well. We follow Dane and Christina. Christina is a novelist. She writes smutty novellas, and she's been having a really hard time writing, or we don't want to say writer's block, because she doesn't want to say writer's block as well, because that would just make things even worse. But she's having a really tough time penning her thoughts and writing really hot scenes. And previous to this, she got onto this online pen pal site and was talking to a few people, and she started talking to Dane. She doesn't know who he is, but they hit it off instantaneously. They have this great, when you just meet someone and you just instantly, you'll hit it off. You'll have the same interests, you'll have the same level of humor. You just get to know each other, and it's like magic. So they've started talking, they're having a great time. She tells him about her little issue, because he also realizes that she hasn't really released something in a while. And then they decide to meet. They've never wanted to meet, they've never wanted their friendship to go into the real world. But here they decide, you know what, maybe it is time. They started writing this novel together. They felt, the tinglings of something more, so they want to meet. So they decide to meet at the airport, where she'll stay with him for some time. she sees Dane a mile away. Now, this is just to let you know, she's never been attracted to him before. She never really noticed him. He's just Dad's best friend. But when she lands and she sees him holding a sign, she's like, oh my God, first of all, he's hot. Second of all, nope. And she just tries to run away from him. Dane sees her, knowing who she is, like, hi Christina, what you doing here, Christina? You know, he doesn't think anything about it, but he does feel like he was let down by the internet friend that he was supposed to meet, and she didn't show up, so he felt like he was, yeah. Then he was stood up, but he wasn't. She was there, and he realizes, he puts 2 and 2 together, and he's like, oh. It starts from there. It's a short book. It's really hot. Whitney G, as usual, just serving the hottest, most romantic at the same time books that we have available to us. So I really enjoy this. These were my age gap romance recommendations. If you have any romance recommendations that you'd like to share with me, please place them down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.